Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're diving into something pretty fascinating. We're looking at how a genuine passion for the outdoors, literally getting your hands dirty, can actually be cultivated into a highly structured, legitimate career as an agro-entrepreneur. We're going to break down the exact path from being an enthusiastic amateur to a full-fledged professional vegetable grower. Let's get right into it. I mean, think about it for a second. Have you ever caught yourself tending to a backyard garden, or maybe just a few balcony pots, and wondered, could I actually leave the traditional academic or corporate track behind for this? What if you could take that love for nature and turn it into a steady, reliable income stream? It's a leap a lot of us dream about, but honestly, very few know how to actually pull it off. So, to get there, here's our roadmap for today. We'll cover the traits of a grower, the educational pathway, funding and scholarships, the work environment, expected income and growth, and we'll wrap up with a real-world success story. Okay, moving right along to section 1. Traits of a grower. Do you have what it takes? Well, before you even plant the first seed, you kind of need to know if you're the right soil for the job, right? This career takes way more than just having a green thumb. Yes, liking gardening is absolutely step 1, but you also need real sustained physical fitness to handle the stamina required for those long hours out in the field or inside a polyhouse. And here's something that gets overlooked a lot. You've got to be comfortable communicating with people. You aren't just out there growing crops in isolation. You're constantly talking with contractors, negotiating with buyers, and actively marketing whatever it is you grow. Because your daily routine, it's incredibly comprehensive. You're covering the entire life cycle of the crop. This means your attention to detail is going to be tested every single day. You're deeply involved from that very first handful of soil being prepped, straight through to selecting the right planting materials, nurturing those plants, harvesting them right at their peak, and finally, doing the actual marketing and selling. The whole shebang. All right, section 2. Educational pathway, structuring your growth. Now, this pathway completely shatters that outdated idea that farming is just sort of informal, unskilled labor. Just look at this progression. There's a highly structured academic ladder here that you can climb to completely formalize your expertise. You can start right after class 10 or 12 with basic vocational certificates. From there, you can level up to a diploma in agriculture or horticulture. And hey, if you really want to geek out on the science of it all, you can scale all the way up to an undergrad BSc and eventually a specialized Master of Science degree focusing on crop science. You're completely in control of how deep your academic roots grow. And you're definitely not going to be learning in a vacuum here. You'll be studying at elite, globally recognized institutions all across India. We're talking places like IARI in New Delhi, or Dr. Y.S. Parmer University of Horticulture and Forestry up in Himachal Pradesh, or Punjab Agricultural University and Tamil Nadu Agricultural University. These institutes make absolutely sure you're getting top-tier modern agricultural training, really blending that traditional wisdom with cutting-edge crop science. Which brings us to section 3, funding and scholarships, financing your future. Okay, so formalizing your skills obviously takes some financial investment, right? But the good news is the government actually provides substantial financial backing. This brilliantly illustrates the vast ecosystem of support that's out there for you. There are dedicated government portals explicitly designed to offer direct financial help. You've got the NSP, the National Scholarship Portal for central schemes. Then there's the PMKVI portal, specifically for skill development in agriculture. And if you're someone who learns best on the job, the NAPS, the National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme, offers these incredible apprenticeship opportunities that actually pay you while you train. There's even SDST for upgrading trainer skills. Beyond just grants and scholarships, though, if you're looking at those higher-tier degrees, like the BSc or MSc, there are dedicated education loan options. You can hop onto the Vidya Lakshmi portal to streamline your education loans. Plus, certain states like West Bengal, Odisha, and Bihar offer these special, really low-interest student credit cards. Oh, and regular educational loans are available from basically all banks. The main takeaway here is simply that a lack of capital should absolutely not be a barrier to cultivating your expertise. Moving on to section 4, work environment. Where will you grow? So once you're trained and you hit the job market, you've got a very distinct choice to make about your career model. On one hand, you have standard employment. This means you can secure stable work with modern urban gardening agencies, think vertical gardening or those cool rooftop gardening companies, or you could work for established vegetable farms or shops. On the flip side, you have entrepreneurship. This is where you embrace the risk and the reward of growing independently on your own land, or maybe you grow vegetables on contract for an agency and then sell your own produce. It's totally up to you. Now, whichever path you choose, the physical realities of the day-to-day work are pretty consistent. You're looking at standard 8 to 9 hour work days, generally 5 to 6 days a week. And hey, nature doesn't exactly take the weekend off, so shift duties and overtime, especially during harvest seasons, are super common. But one thing that's truly fantastic about this field is the inclusivity. There are robust, highly meaningful opportunities within agriculture for differently abled individuals to really thrive.
All right, Section 5, Income and Growth, Harvesting Your Earnings.
Let's get down to brass tacks and talk about your expected return on investment. Starting out, an entry-level vegetable grower can expect an indicative monthly income ranging from roughly 8,800 to 22,000 rupees. But keep in mind, these are just starting figures for employment. If you go the independent entrepreneur route, that can scale completely differently depending on your market and what exact crops you choose to grow. Now, it's really important to weigh that starting income against your approximate course fees. Depending on whether you take a short, basic certificate course or you go all in on a full postgraduate degree, your educational investment is going to range anywhere from about 5,000 rupees on the absolute low end up to 2.5 lakh rupees. You have to treat it as a calculated investment in your future earning potential. And don't worry, there's definitely room for upward mobility here. You aren't just meant to stay in an entry-level position forever. As you gain real field experience and really start to understand the business side of the crop cycles, you can easily advance from being a hands-on vegetable grower to a managerial supervisor. That means overseeing entire farm operations, managing teams, and coordinating those massive, large-scale harvests. Which brings us to our final section, Section 6, Success Story, from Corporate to Cultivation. To really grasp the potential of this path, we've got to look at a real-world example. Take Vikas Thakur, a young farmer from Shimarad village. Vikas actually left his cushy corporate job where he was marketing multinational confectionery products. Crazy, right? He decided to optimally utilize his own land by taking the plunge and erecting polyhouses. You know, those climate-controlled greenhouses to grow his crops. And instead of just doing traditional crops, he brilliantly targeted a high-value niche. He started cultivating exotic vegetables like broccoli and green, yellow, and red capsicum, specifically aimed at the dining tables of fancy five-star hotels. His success story is just incredibly powerful. As he puts it, "I am highly satisfied with my decision as I earn a decent amount." It's proof. It proves that with the right strategy, proper education, and some serious ambition, stepping away from a standard desk job to become an agri-entrepreneur can be incredibly fulfilling, both personally and financially. Which brings us to the final thought I want to leave you all with today. You've seen the roadmap from seed to harvest. We've talked about the required traits, the educational ladders you can climb, the funding that's literally waiting for you, and the very real success of people who have already made the leap. So the only question left is, what's your next professional step going to be? Are you going to keep dreaming about that garden, or will you plant the seed for your new career today?